better vantage. Bigger.
Maybe a commercial. Oh, this is actually happening. It's just real that it's happening.
My mom put me out of class.
Feeling a panic.
T'as mis le début?
Record and just go. Can't believe it. Took my job, eh? I took my job, eh? Pass with this book. Looking up to the years.
Welcome to One World Observatory.
Oh, my ears. My ears don't usually pop, but it's just... Oh, I felt that one.
Infinite facets of the city beneath us as you prepare to see forever.
Wait, $14 surprise. $14 surprise. My hamster's toast is $15. Oh, I can't believe we're in New York and the mafia's found us.
And my name is Philip. I am from the Bronx, but I do not think it matters if you're around the corner or around the globe. The views we get up here have a real tendency to inspire people and motivate them to get out into our city and experience all we have to offer. Well, where do you get started with all of that? Well, up here, we use this. And this is City Hall. Here on the 100th floor of this iconic building, here on the top of the clouds. And City Hall is going to show you the city of ways you've never seen before. The New York City of the past has evolved and changed. Like right now, I'm going to take you through. We've looked up many stories of New York City as clock. And in the hour of the day, my dynamically navigating with several things. But first, I think it is important to get our bearings, figure out where we are. And right now, we're in a pretty cool place. So we are on the southern end of Manhattan, and we are facing south. But here's a little tip for you. Most New Yorkers usually would not say that. We more typically say that we're on the downtown end of Manhattan, facing downtown. And this is because uptown and downtown are directions in Manhattan. And that can be important to know. For instance, we do not have northbound or southbound subway trains. We have uptown and downtown ones, and that's how we're labeled down there, so it can be good to know and go. However, you say it's a great place to be. We have New York Harbor stretching out behind me in all its glory. We have the East River on this side. We have the Hudson on the other, and in between the two, oh, here we are on the island of Manhattan, probably the coolest island there is. So here's something I have noticed about Manhattan. A lot of people look at it in their heads that that's all there is to New York City. It's got a little sliver of an island we call Manhattan, and that is not the case. No, we have 5 boroughs here in New York City. Manhattan is just one. Across the harbor is another one. That's Staten Island. Over here is Brooklyn. Above and surrounding Brooklyn is Queens. And then if you go way uptown, past the Harlem River, you get to the best borough. That's right, you get to my borough, you get to the Bronx. Now, some of you out there at this point might be wondering, well, hey, what about this big beautiful area over here on the other side of the Hudson River? Well, that is not part of the city. That is not even part of the state. That's New Jersey out there. And let me tell you, New Jersey is also a very beautiful place. In fact, a ton of people find it so nice out there they choose to live there and then commute to and from New York City each and every single day for work. And because of all those commuters, just make it a little bit more confusing. Some people have even started to call that the 6th borough, which is a little silly but kind of fun. Now, all throughout this area I've been talking about, we have all sorts of amazing stories that we can tell. And these in a bit further detail, which we have broken up into these 10 categories. And I'm going to let you choose which category I will be talking about. And I can talk about anything you like, from getting around town to New York City history, or maybe you're more interested in urban villages, kids in the city, or urban parks. What do you say? Any of these topics sound interesting? Go shout one out. Anyone you like? Any ideas? History. That's what we want, because New York City is chock full of history. And in a pretty tight timetable when we think about it. We've been a city for less than 400 years. Other cities throughout the globe that have thousands of years of history. But I think ours is just as exciting in no small part, because we have a tendency to attract dreamers to this city with the promise of opportunity. These dreamers will take great risks that shapes our city and brings an energy that attracts even more dreamers. We have a lot of great things we can talk about when it comes to our city and its history. But on a beautiful sunny day like today, starting to be warm again, I always like to talk about Central Park, right? Central Park is our most famous park here in New York City. And it has a rather interesting history behind it, which kind of goes back to 1811. What happened in 1811 was we came up with the Commissioner's Plan. This is that grid that you find over most of Manhattan, starting in Houston Street, going uptown. In fact, that's how we get uptown. You're going up in numbers, you go uptown, down as you go downtown. And then you have these big, broad avenues perpendicular to those streets, creating a nice, even grid throughout most of Manhattan. Now, when they first created that plan, they did not have a big park in the center of Manhattan like we have today. But they were kind of surprised over the next few decades about how quickly this grid started to fill in. So they decided to take a look at the plan to see if they forgot anything, like a big, beautiful park put in the middle of the island. And they did, so they decided to rectify that. They had a contest to see who got to plan things, and a lot of the plan, including this big, beautiful Bethesda terrace here in this image, came from their original plan that they called the Green Boards Plan, and it was developed by two gentlemen, Calvert Vaux and Frederick Law Olmsted. And this was a very intense plan. What they did not do They did not just put up a wall and say, okay, everything on the inside of the wall is the park, everything on the outside is not the park. No, no, no. They sculpted the landscape. So if they saw a hill they didn't like, they blasted away. And if they looked at another area and said, you know what we could use here is a hill, they build a hill. Yeah, all the water features, completely man-made. The only natural water feature to the area that is now Central Park was a big swamp that they had to drain anyway. And they didn't like any of the plants either. They tore up all the plants, trucked a new topsoil, soil to plant whatever they wanted, wherever they wanted. And then they also built things that are more obviously man-made, like the buildings. Right? There are quite a few buildings in Central Park. The original ones were all designed by Calvert Knox, who was also a well-respected and well-known architect as well as a park designer. We have added quite a few since it opened, though. The bridges have a kind of a similar story. All the original bridges were designed by James Rainbow, so we have added since Central Park opened. And then there are the paths going through Central Park. I would like to mention this because it's not something you think about as being designed, especially in Central Park, but they are very carefully designed. There is one path, which is sometimes called the Literary Walk because there are statues of poets and writers around it. It was sometimes called the Great Wall because it's a big straight line. It was made for people in the 19th century to parade around in their Sunday best and show off all the new clothes, basically, right? And it is a straight line. It's the only straight line of any path in Central Park, right? And every path is going to have at least a little bit of curve to it. Sometimes they're downright windy. And because of that, it can be hard to use Central Park as a pedestrian shortcut to get from the Upper East Side to the Upper West Side or vice versa. And that is not a bug, that is a design feature, right? They didn't want you to use Central Park as a shortcut. They wanted you to slow down, take in the naturalistic, I should say, environment that they created for you. So they wanted you to take a breath and take the break from the hustle and bustle of the city. And really because of that great park design, there are great things to do all year round. I love the flowers above and below me here. This is the time of year to see some of these great flowers blooming, particularly the trees, how all they started blooming. They have a lot of daffodils too, and pretty soon we have tulips. Probably out of the regional there, as a matter of fact. So a lot of beautiful flowers in here. All the flower beds and gardens are up there by the Central Park Observatory. And then before you know it, it's going to be summer. Summer's great in Central Park. We have all sorts of free events, free movies at the end of the summer, free concerts all throughout the summer. And my favorite, free Shakespeare in the summer as well. We also have the autumn after that, right? That's what we usually follow summer. The leaves turn beautiful colors in the autumn. And I love these two images on either side of me. After a nice, beautiful snowfall, it turns into a winter wonderland. All year round, there are two amazing institutions that make their permanent home in Central Park, the Central Park Zoo, which is the zoo of the borough's neighborhood, a zoo per borough. But it's the zoo of the city that is the most focused towards childhood education, which is really nice. And then we also have the Metropolitan Museum of Art. This is the Art Museum in New York City. It has the greatest depth and breadth of collection by far. And then, I always at the end of this spiel about Central Park like to bring home the fact that the real purpose of Central Park, after I show you all these cool things to do, is that they really do nothing, right? to get lost in these naturalistic surroundings, maybe find a nice shady spot underneath the tree and just slow down and daydream for a while. Be separate from that hustle and bustle of the city and that very rigid grid of the rest of the city. Now, when I start talking about Central Park, I often start thinking about a neighborhood that's just uptown Central Park. That neighborhood is Harlem. And South Street. Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about South Street Seaport instead, because I think we went to Robin's Square Square. Now, you love South Street Seaport too. The South Street Seaport is right at the end of the street we're on right now, which is Fulton Street. And I like to talk about South Street Seaport in no small part because it's so easy to forget that we are a port city, right? The reason we exist here is because of these beautiful waterways, right? The harbor here is well protected from the worst of the storms coming off the Atlantic Ocean. At the same time, it's only 17 miles to that open ocean. Another thing we have easy access to here is this river. The Hudson River is easy to navigate all the way up to Albany and back. Naturally. That's naturally. In 1825, we decided that was not good enough. So we dug a canal from Albany to Buffalo, which is on Lake Erie. That opened up trade from our harbor all throughout the center of the country, all throughout the Great Lakes. And then it turned out places to be built in the port city in the country, if not the world, all throughout the 19th century. Things did start to change with South Street Seaport, though. South Street Seaport was designed and optimized for sailboats, right? Throughout the 19th century, we got more and more reliant on steamships, and those steamships kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Eventually, we built the bigger, more modern piers on the other side of Manhattan. And those bigger, more modern piers started sort of to take over the shipping more and more. And South Street Seaport became more and more of a fish market throughout the end of the 19th, beginning of the 20th century. And by the end of the 20th century, it was just a fish market. Nothing else was being shipped to or from South Street Seaport, right? And you notice something a little peculiar about this fish market. It was right on the water. Yet, none of the fish were being brought in by boat. It was all being brought in by truck and all being trucked away. Right? So, why have it right at the edge of the water? And they didn't come up with a good reason. So, in 2007, they pulled up the stakes of the fish market operation and moved it on up to the Bronx where it is today. And if you go down to South Street Seaport today, you're just going to see ghosts of the past. Things like Seymour Home Row, a nice row of old merchants' houses. And then we also have a lot of the boats that are kept up by the South Street Seaport Museum right at the piers there. And you can actually see the mast of a waiver tree between a couple of buildings down there, which is kind of fun. Now, the thing you will find in South Street Seaport today is actually a lot of shops and really nice restaurants there. So it is a nice place to go wander around, kind of see those ghosts of the past and enjoy the fine dining of the present, which is always fun. Things are always on the move though in New York City. Things are always changing. We try to keep up to date with what's new and happening. You can use all sorts of fancy Instagram, Twitter, and other social media to do that, or you can go back to the original social media and talk to people. We have a lot of those here in New York City. About 8.5 million people make their lives in this town. We have the diversity as well that's unique in the world, and I think it's easy to see way up here that it is the passion and energy these people bring to their day-to-day lives that make New York City such an exciting, vibrant place to live. There's no wonder we're known as the city we've never seen. So up here, if you weren't already a New Yorker when you came, you consider yourself an honorary New Yorker now. That's right, you're part of our city. You're part of its story. So get out there and explore our city streets and please chat with everyday New Yorkers. Nice. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Thank you for visiting One World Observatory.
I'll need a jobby. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Got my jobby back. Oh, I think I've seen someone on the bridge.
Crap.
Oh, I know.
Stop that.
Oh.
He's it's a really
Focus. There we go. That's it. Time. Oh, I actually spilled it on that, but I had a bit of a lick, it's nice. Oh. Ooh. I know what we're getting. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright. Could try and take a... I feel like just a nerd. Just like... Oh, a big gulp doesn't. Oh, that is strong. Oh, focus, focus. There, that bit, there. I'm trying to focus on. Yeah, it's not. There we go. So zoom out and you focus. Good on you. What they're queuing for. Yeah, get your hustle somehow making a podcast based on standing in line.